Many powerful people have been tempted and fallen as a result of this deadly sin. Top of the morning to you. When we consider the concept of pride with the mind of love and a firm determination to get to know God better, we see this is one of the sins great people like David struggle with. Proverbs 6:16 says that six things the Lord hates. Yes, seven are an abomination to him. Verse 17, a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that seek to run after evil. Verse 19, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among the brethren. The sin of pride is such a problem for powerful people in positions of authority that 1 Timothy 2, 1 through 4 says, I urge you to pray, intercede, and give thanks to all those who are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life in all godliness and reverence. Verse 13, this is good and acceptable in the sight of our Savior, God. Even David, a man after God's own heart, Acts 13:22, struggled with pride. Both 1 Chronicles 21 and 2 Samuel 24 give an account of one of these times David was tempted and succumbed. It seems Satan tempted David to count the number of people in the kingdom. God allowed this to happen to basically test David's heart. 1 Chronicles 21:2, David said to Joab and the commanders of the army, take a census of all the people of Israel so I may know how many there are. Despite being warned by Gad, his seer, David insisted. Once the count was placed before David, his conscience kicked in. Verse 8, David said to God, I have sinned greatly by taking this census. Please forgive me for this foolish thing. Verse 10, God gave David 3 choices of punishment. David chose the 3-day severe plague, which killed 70,000 people all over the kingdom. Another reason to pray for those in charge, for when they sin, the whole kingdom is affected. The Lord ended up having mercy and sparing Jerusalem. It took David and his leaders to humble themselves, and David interceding until God finally sent a sign of fire that the plague was ended. It wasn't the actual counting that was the sin, as much as the pride in his heart that made him feel great because of the number of people in his charge. For God is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of our hearts. Hebrews 4:12. Word of encouragement, 1 John 2:15 through 16 tells us to not love the world or the things in it. When you love the world, you don't have the love of God the Father in you. The world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. These are not from the Father. This can even happen in the church when we begin to take pride in our church numbers like salvations, baptisms, Sunday school attendance, count of tithes and offerings, etc. These are not sinful things. It's the pride of heart behind the situation that matters to God, thinking that somehow these things are a reflection of how good we are instead of celebrating God's mercy and grace. Have a great day.